The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge ended their week-long Royal Caribbean tour by visiting a Bahamas orphanage. On Saturday evening, after Prince William stood to observe a guard of honour at the departure ceremony at Lyndon Pingling International Airport in Nassau, the couple smiled and waved from the aircraft after enjoying their week-long tour. For her final appearance of the tour, Catherine wore a belted yellow floral peplum dress by Alexander Rich. Just hours before their flight, William released an unprecedented statement about the controversy that has followed the couple on their tour of Belize, Jamaica and the Bahamas. On an official tour, the royal couple experienced substantial criticism. Despite cordial welcomes from many locals, tensions are rising in the Caribbean nations where William's grandmother, Queen Elizabeth, remains ruler. Earlier on the tour, William acknowledged his sorrow at the abhorrent legacy of slavery that shames the UK, though others felt he didn't go far enough and apologise. The protests are only the latest evidence of the historic shift underway. Another Caribbean country, Barbados, broke ties with the Queen in November, voting in its first president, and Jamaica will soon follow suit. In his Saturday message, William reflected on the future of Caribbean administration, adding, "I know that this tour has brought into even sharper focus questions about the past and the future. In Belize, Jamaica and the Bahamas, that future is for the people to decide upon." He went on, "Catherine and I are committed to service. For us, that's not telling people what to do. It's about serving and supporting them in whatever they think best, by using the platform we are lucky to have. It is why tours such as this reaffirm our desire to serve the people of the Commonwealth and to listen to communities around the world. Who the Commonwealth chooses to lead its family in the future isn't what is on my mind. What matters to us is the potential the Commonwealth family has to create a better future for the people whom form it, and our commitment to serve and support as best we can," he said. The statement comes against the backdrop of the Queen's growing frailty and doubts about whether she will be able to attend the Duke of Edinburgh's memorial service on Tuesday, effectively concedes that cracks are appearing in the Commonwealth, which has been the pride of her 70-year reign. Whilst on a visit to Belize, Jamaica and the Bahamas, William broke the monarchy's never complain, never explain rule. They said, William wanted to acknowledge that not everything on the tour landed the right way, but the couple are the generation which learns from mistakes. You have to look like you know it's not all worked, acknowledge the world has changed and react, not double down. He was showing that he understands that it can't be taken for granted that he will lead a Commonwealth. You serve as long as your people want you to serve. You listen, accept their choices and change if you need to. That's how the Commonwealth survives in the end, by not forcing anything. Earlier in the day, Prince William played a madcap game of football with a group of young boys from the Grand Bahama Children's Home in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and took a shine to a 13-year-old who used a wheelchair. When he asked the boy what he wanted to do, the youngster replied, "Play soccer," and they headed towards 2 goals. The future king was visiting the centre with wife Catherine to meet the youngsters in the home's extensive garden and learn about their lives. The Duke and his newfound friend were quickly joined by other small boys, and at one stage there were 4 footballs on the pitch whizzing around with William in goal. Next, the 13-year-old's list was a nearby swing and slide, and he was pushed by the Duke in that direction. William later quipped, "He knows that I'll say yes." As the 13-year-old and 2 other boys were swinging up in the air, a concerned Duke smiled but said, "These swings are very high, guys. Please don't fall off." The Grand Bahama Children's Home provides a loving home environment to vulnerable children who are not able to live with their families. Since it was established in 1977 by the local community, the home has cared for over 900 children and now looks after around 30 children ranging from 1 to 17. When the Duke and Duchess first arrived, they sat at a large table covered in a colourful mosaic design and with some of the younger children who filled in the final pieces. Catherine asked one little girl dressed in a pink tutu and tiara, "Is that going to fit in?" and said, "Yes," as the youngster slotted the piece of ceramic home, adding, "You look very lovely. I love your tiara." They also unveiled a plaque inside the entrance of the Grand Bahamas Children's Home. On the evening of the day, Prince William stood to observe a guard of honour at the departure ceremony at Lyndon Pindling International Airport in Nassau. Bahamas military personnel were pictured in their white, black and red uniforms as they awaited the official departure ceremony of Prince William and Catherine, Duchess of Cambridge. Their visit to the children's home came after stopping by at a Bahamian fish fry with Catherine in a pink Rixo dress, trying local delicacy, conch pistol, said to have the same effect as Viagra. Catherine held up the strip of flesh, which comes from the inside of the conch and is commonly said to be conch's male genitalia, before putting it in her mouth to gain a round of applause from the crowds. The Duchess said, "I'm a little bit more adventurous than William is." As the pair joked around, he said, "I can handle it." Their final stop in the island of Abaco saw the Duke and Duchess visit a fish fry, a quintessentially Bahamian culinary gathering place which is found on every island in the Bahamas. She added that she had already tried conch fritters but had yet to try conch salad. She then got hold of a knife and helped stall owner Jade Cow Adderley, 39, who owns the Cow Conch stall. They were offered conch salad, William said, "Ladies first," before Catherine tried it and added, "Delicious." Afterwards, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge visited coral restoration farm Coral Vita on Grand Bahama at the site of an Earthshot prize winner in the final engagement of the Royal Caribbean Tour. The organisers won the Revive Our Oceans category at Prince William's Earthshot Prize Award last year in recognition of their groundbreaking work to give new life to dying coral reefs. They capped off their troubled Queen's Platinum Jubilee trip by dropping in on old friends Sam Teicher and Gator Halpin at Coral Vita. Catherine matched the colour of the coral farms protected by the entrepreneurs by wearing a coral pink Rixo dress. The Duke had spoken to the winners of the Revive Our Oceans in his £50 million scheme to fight climate change on a video call after the star-studded prize show last September. But this was the first time the Duke has visited one of his 5 2021 winners. As he arrived, he said, "Here they are, look who it is. The famous double act." The award-winning entrepreneurs showed William and Catherine a mark on the wall how high the water reached during Hurricane Dorian in 2019. William said, "That's incredible." Spotting the Earthshot prize mounted on the wall, William waved his hands in delight and said, "You've done a good job with it." Sam and Galen took wheels to see several of the 28 water tanks where they are growing damaged coral. It can take a year to grow a so-called micropiece until it is large enough to be replanted on the seabed. They also showed how to brush off the algae to keep the coral healthy. Coral Vita also heats the tanks to the correct temperature to increase the coral's resilience to climate change. The 3-day vacation to the country of 700 islands has left William and Catherine inspired. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge have been FaceTiming their children to discuss their experience after spending the last 2 nights at the Cove Luxury Resort on Paradise Island.